give me your attention, baby. I gotta tell you a little something about yourself.
Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I have a video tutorial or look using the Colourpop eyeshadows. Now I had done a video full of swatches on these eyeshadows and a lot of you guys said that you'd like to see them in action. I was wearing some of the shades in that video, but a lot of you wanted to see how they applied, what types of brush I used, and just overall, since it is an interesting texture of an eyeshadow, a lot of questions were, how do I apply? Do I have a lot of fallout? Do you need to use a base? Do you need to set them with another powder product? So I kind of go over all that in the video and I show you how I apply them to create this look. So if you'd like to see how I got this look, then go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so I've already primed my eyes with Painterly Paint Pot from MAC. It's just a very neutral skin tone, flesh tone base. So whatever you'd like to prime your eyes with, go ahead and do that. I suggest a primer when using these shadows. It's great to have a blank canvas as well as a little bit of a tacky base to stick to. So I always recommend using a primer. So anything that you have will work. I just used MAC's Painterly. First, to start out, I'm going to use this shade from Bobbi Brown. It's called Toast, and this is a Sephora number 19 brush. I'm just going to run this color through my crease just to give a little bit of a transition shade. The great thing about the Colourpop eyeshadows is you can mix them with your other like true powder eyeshadows. So I like to just put a matte shade down first because a lot of the shades I have aren't matte, they're satin. So this just gives a nice little transition for the rest of the colors that we're gonna apply. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here and it's called Desert. I'm not sure if this was in my original swatch video, which I will leave linked below, but it is just a really nice, I would say this is a satin shade. It doesn't say, but it looks to be like a satin. I'm using a Target Up and Up brush and I'm just going to, this is just like a regular shadow brush. I'm just gonna run this through the socket of the eye, so the crease socket of my eye. I recommend, a lot of people have asked like, how do you apply these shades? I recommend using a synthetic brush because that's going to not soak up the product. Like if you think about it, if you're using like a natural hair brush, that absorbs, because it's very porous, it absorbs a lot of the product. So you want to be using a synthetic brush and to apply these. So I'm just running that through the socket of the eye, and this is the closest to like a matte shade that I probably have. It's more of a satin, it does have a little bit of a sheen. Okay, using that same brush, I'm gonna go in with this color Animal, and I know that this was not in my original, so it's just a really nice coral shade. Oh, I love this one. It has a lot of shimmer in it. I'm just gonna kind of put that right above the crease, like just right above, just so it kind of peeks out and adds a little bit of that coral color to the look. So just blending it in, I'm running it right below my brow bone and right above where we placed those other colors. As you can see, these blend in so well. I've gotten asked a lot if I get a lot of fallout with the shimmer colors. I get some, but not a lot, and I don't get a lot of creasing. So just make sure you are using that base, and you shouldn't get creasing, and they last all day. They're very long wearing shadows. So after you just add just a little bit of that Animal color, we're going to go in with the lid shades. So first, all over my lid, I'm gonna go in with this color called Amaze. This is a really beautiful rose gold shade, and I'm just going, it has some sparkle again in it. I'm just gonna put this color all over the lid, and I'm going to do it with my finger. Sometimes I think to get the best application with these shades, especially the ones with a lot of the shimmer or glitter in it, I think using the finger is the best way because you can really press it in when you're applying it, and that way it really sticks and you get the most concentrated like pigmentation from the shade. So I'm just going to press this in all over my lid. I really, really love that shade. Okay, now I'm going to add a little tiny pop in the very center of my lid, and I'm going to use the color called Get Lucky. It's an extremely metallic gold. I was actually watching my friend Kathleen Lights. She swatched this shade in one of her videos. I'm like, I have to get that. It is such a metallic gold shade. This is like a must-have if you ask me. So I'm just gonna tap this ever so slightly on the very center of my lids just to really bring a lot of like light and dimension to the lid. Just tap it on. Just like the ball of the eye is where I'm tapping this on. This one is like straight metallic. It doesn't have any like fine glitter or anything in it. Now I'm gonna go in with this shade called Mittens, and this is a really nice matte, really warm burgundy brown shade. This is the shading brush from Real Techniques, and I'm gonna start I'm working this right in the outer portion of the eye, really just to give a little bit of depth right here. And I really want to keep it concentrated on the outer portion. I don't want to bring this too far into the crease. Just kind of blending those shades together right there. Okay, now I'm just going to take the original brush we used with that animal color and just really kind of blend those shades together on the eye. For a liner, I'm going to apply the eye coat. I'm just going to do like a slight wing on the eye. I don't want to get it too thick because I do have that beautiful gold shade and I don't really want to cover it up. And I personally don't have as much lid space, so I have to be careful. Okay, now I'm going to take this shade called Lovely. It's kind of like a gold shimmery inner corner color. It's really a beautiful light shade, and I'm going to put this in my inner corners. I'm using this Real Techniques, this is a detail brush. I'm really just going to press that in my inner corners. Now I'm going to take this Desert shade, and this is a Urban Decay blending brush, but I'm just going to use this and run it along the lower lash line. Okay, so my camera battery died, so I had to recharge it, but I just put Urban Decay's Bourbon on my waterline. It's just a really warm brown shade, so anything that you have will work. Even Max Teddy would be perfect. I also went ahead and applied my mascara. I used the Chanel Le Volume, which is one of my favorites, on my upper lashes, and then on my lower lash line, I used MAC's Extended Play Giga Black Lash. I love it. It's waterproof, it's perfect, and it has a really thin wand to get to my lashes. I'm going to use a little bit more of this Mittens shade on this pencil blending brush, just the very tip of it from Urban Decay. This one. I'm just going to put this in the outer part of my eye and just kind of connect it to where we put it in the outer corner on the lid. These are some of the up-close swatches of the shades that I used in the look today. I mean, look at that Get Lucky shade. It's just so beautiful and metallic. Okay, everything else I'm wearing on my face will be listed down below if you're interested. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my lip combo. When I ordered from Colourpop, they had a deal going on. I posted it on my Instagram, but if you bought $40 worth of eyeshadows, they're $5 each. So if you bought $40, so I bought 8 shades, you got a free lip stick and a free lip pencil. So I was really excited. You got to choose your color. So I chose the nude shade. So this is called BFF, and it is the nude for lighter skin tones. They had a nude for darker skin tones and a nude for lighter skin tones. So this is the pencil. It's just a beautiful, deeper, peachy nude shade. So I'm going to go ahead and line my lips with it. This pencil is extremely creamy, and it really just glides on. It's really pigmented. It's a nice, like, deeper, nudie. I would say it has like a peachy, nudish brown tinge to it. I really like it. Okay, for the lipstick, this is the same shade it was corresponding, but this is much more of a really peachy nude. This is the BFF Nude, and this is in the glossy formula. These are called Lip Stix, S-T-I-X. They just twist up like this, really, really creamy. I tried to swatch it right here, but it's a bad swatch, so I swatched it a little bit right here. It's a gorgeous peachy nude shade, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this all over the lips, and it does have a gloss to it. I believe they have a matte version as well. This is super pigmented, super creamy, and the smell kind of reminds me of the joysticks from the Kardashian collection. What is that? Chroma. The Chroma joysticks. It's like the really almost overly sweet candy smell, but they're really, really creamy, super pigmented, really great shade. I really like this BFF shade. It's just a nice neutral peach shade, especially if you're pairing it with like that deeper neutral liner. Even if I paired this with something a little bit more pinky nude, that would probably bring this to a really perfect, what I would consider like a perfect peachy nude shade. But this is really, really nice. I recommend these. This was the first time I had tried it on my lips. So first impression right here is a good one. I'm not quite sure how long they wear, but they feel incredibly moisturizing on the lips. Okay, so this is the finished look. I love these eyeshadows. I highly recommend them. As you can see, they are not difficult to work with. They blend. You can use them with a brush or your finger, and you can intertwine them using other powder shades that you like and mix and match them so they don't like clump up or gross up when you put like a powder product on top. You definitely don't need to set them with a powder product. They work fine on their own. So they don't need to be set. They don't need to be used with another powder eyeshadow, but you can use another powder eyeshadow in conjunction with them. So I'm going to zoom in so that you can see the look close up. So here is the look close up. Went ahead and touched up that lovely shade right here in the inner corner, and I used my finger instead of that brush, and I kind of just smudged it up a little bit to meet up with the center shade. So that is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I will try and do some more tutorials with the eyeshadows because I have had a lot of requests when I first did my swatch video on these shades, and I understand they're an interesting texture, so a lot of people are unsure of how to really work with them, but really they're not difficult to work with. So go ahead and leave any questions down below if you have any that you don't feel like I answered in this video. And I also took shade recommendations from people from my last video, so if you have some of your favorites that you didn't see me mention, go ahead and leave those below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.